This is truly an amazing business. I call it a business because it is a business, and you've probably heard me tell you before that I sold real estate for several decades, developed real estate for a couple more decades in the Twin Cities area, and that was a fun time. Excuse me. And trading is just as exciting as that. And in this example that I've got, I am going to show you some uptouches, the power of uptouches. And I've got an old example. In fact, I did a video on it a couple years ago, and I looked back at it, and there's just some things I should have brought out more than I did before, but in any case, excuse me, let me share with you what I've got. I've got two vertical lines here, green vertical lines that represent the day of the day before a big down gap. And as you know, there are three patterns that we watch when we're looking for gaps, and those are the identical indicators: one pattern, two pattern, three pattern, or the down touches. That would be trend red, green, gray, down touching either the three trio lines, pink, blue, or yellow, or zero, or under zero when you're looking at a gap up, or above the blue line when you're looking at a gap down. There's 5 possible lines to touch. Although the area under zero does not have a definitive line to touch, it's just an area. But it's defined as when trend red, for example, crosses over or under the zero line, that crossover day is also the day that it reverses and goes back up. So that's the signal day. The crossover day is the signal day. Occasionally we'll get a crossover that'll just barely make it under the zero line, and then it goes down one more day before the reversal back up. The third area is the proximity group, or the power 4, which is the pink, blue, white, and yellow lines in the power chart, and power Zion, the 5th line. And we get significant movement when power Zion is opposite of the power 4, and it can be opposite in 2 ways. It can be down when the 4 are up, or vice versa. Or it can be under the orange line when the other 4 are above the orange line, power orange. And again, vice versa. And so those distinguishing differences are a recognizable way to identify pent-up market force power, I guess is the easiest way to explain it. In this example here in trend red, we have trend red uptouching trend pink. Now you know, or you've heard me say hopefully before, trend pink is the best line to touch because out of the trio, yellow, pink, blue, the center of the line is obviously pink, and even though the 3 run together in unison, the center is the best line to have a reaction from. And so when red uptouches pink, that's a good strong reversal pattern down. Again, if you haven't picked up on it, the entire day trading Visual Basics system is built on a reversal, identifying reversal patterns or cycle reversals. tops and the bottoms. We can effectively pick the tops and the bottoms. I'm not aware of anyone out there that is locating gaps before the gap. There's a few people that are trading gaps after the gap occurs. They just wait till the gap occurs, and then 30 seconds later or a minute later, they say, okay, we're going to start trading this one. And simply because it has high volatility, that's why they trade it. But with the sensitive indicators, which are the heart of the system, and the formula that we have, when you think of the formula, it's basically patterns with good conditions that we identify with, because conditions can be bad, poor, or good. And as long as they have good conditions, then they become a high probability trade. And we only trade high probability trades. And so then we wait for the signal to occur, whatever that signal might be. Sometimes there is no signal other than, like for example, Zip Zion, when it's lowest and stays lowest, the signal to get out is when Zip Zion is no longer lowest, but that sometimes is not a good signal, especially if Zip Zion has the ability to keep going higher. So when it gets buried under the indicators, then the pattern ceases to exist, but that doesn't mean the price direction ceases to go up. Now, this is a very classic situation. The trend green has uptouched the trend blue line as well, so we have a double uptouch in the trend chart. We have a power red uptouch onto the power green in the power chart. And we also, while I'm at it, I'll point out that there are 20, if I counted correctly, 20 identical indicators in a BOC higher pattern. And BOC higher is an important pattern. It's a powerful pattern. The BOC is obviously a V-shaped pattern with the left leg lower than the right leg. And indicator line length is the way that we determine the strength of a market push, or the market force or pressure within a market. And different indicator lines track different forces. And so when we have all of these indicators, it's basically telling us that all of the forces that we can identify with, or at least the vast majority of them, are doing the same thing. And in this case, showing us that we're having a gap down. Up touches tell us about gap downs, and down touches tell us about gaps up. The vast majority of the down touches and up touches occur in the trend chart, but this is one example, and I brought it up because, and it is an old example, and I brought it up because I wanted to show you the significant other supporting evidence within this particular move. And going on, if you go over here to the swing chart, the swing chart has the swing pink uptouching onto the swing red, and at the same time uptouching onto zero. And so that's a double uptouch. The swing yellow and swing Zion are uptouching into the trend green. So we literally have a huge number of uptouches in this example, which greatly multiply the pushback of the move. And remember, BOC higher indicator lines, basically what happened is the market pushed it up real high, or let me say higher than it normally should have been. And as a result, it gets pushed back down by the opposing forces, in this case next day as a gap down, because of what happened. And so BOC higher patterns have a tendency to be stronger reversal patterns. And so that's the ideas behind this particular example. It's exciting. It gapped down from a high of $61.50, and it opened at $39. So an amazing gap down. Very, very powerful. We very seldom see this. So that's what we have here on that particular example. I encourage you to look at more videos. This is truly an exciting business.